Hi, I'm Dave McClain, an actor, voiceover artist, and writer, and I'm being interviewed by Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network, and I am very happy to be here.
We're back from the quick commercial break. Dave McClain, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
No, absolutely. And this is the second time you were a part of the Keith Andrew Network family, and I thank you for that. So the first
My
one we're going to talk about is, go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt, I apologize.
No, I just said it's my pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, with that being said, for the first film we're going to talk about is the movie Age. And as we're talking, let's take a quick look at the trailer. That's an absolutely tremendous, wonderful trailer of the movie Age. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's a psychological horror movie, which means the horror is mostly in one character's perception of events and how she's reacting to that. There is not a lot of blood and nobody gets killed on camera, I can tell you that much. And it has a wicked cool twist ending that nobody sees coming. It's really a good film. We're very proud of it.
What was your experience like working with the cast and the producers?
Well, it was terrific. I I made friends on that set that I'm still in touch with. We started shooting Aged in January of 22, so it's 4 years now. And I'm still in touch with those folks. I see them from time to time, and I have since worked with the director on other projects of his. He has done some YouTube series, Something Scary to Talk About, and Surviving La Llorona, and I was in both of those as well.
No, did you ever give your input like about your character? Tell us a little bit about your character.
Well, my character is named Charles Bloom, and we see him in the first scene of the movie. He is meeting up with a young woman who he's trying to hire to be a live-in housekeeper and caretaker for his mother who has dementia. She somewhat reluctantly accepts the job, and when she gets to the house, everything seems fine at the beginning, even though she knows it's going to be a challenging assignment. But then, since it's a horror movie, little by little, weirder and weirder things start happening to her, and she's wondering if these things are actually happening or if they're in her head. But either way, they're pretty scary for a young woman away from home in her situation.
And it's the video, obviously it's out now, but is it available on Netflix, Hulu, YouTube? How can your viewers get the chance to watch it?
It is available on Amazon Prime, Tubi, and YouTube.
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Fall of the Ghost Train when we come back from this commercial break.
Every journey begins with a single step and the courage to keep climbing. At Keith Andrew Network, real stories become moving animation, challenges turn to victories, and creativity paves new paths.
Well, and we're back from a quick commercial break. Let's take a look at Fall of the Ghost Train. And we're back for the quick muscle break. Hey, who doesn't love trains? I love trains. Everyone who ever was a kid loves trucks and trains. So let me
Well,
ask
the
you,
director of this movie has always loved trains. He loved Thomas the Tank Engine when he was a kid, and he made uh, a movie about trains years ago, and people have been bugging him for a sequel. So the sequel is Fall of the Ghost Train. And this particular filmmaker, Reese Griffin, is on the spectrum. So he is an autistic filmmaker. Um, he has not let that hold him back. This is all his baby, and he did a terrific job of gathering a cast, directing us, putting the whole project together, and uh, and I've become friends with Reese over the course of working with him. He's a great guy. As far as the film goes, it was pretty interesting for me because I got to play a live action character and voice another character. That's only the second time I've done that in the same project. And this time they're in the same scene. So, in a way, I'm talking to myself.
well, let me ask you, do you prefer being on screen or do you like doing voiceovers?
Oh, I love both. Most of the work I've done so far in film has been on screen, but I also have voice characters in a number of projects. Sometimes it's a character who just doesn't appear on screen, like he's the other end of a phone call or something like that. Other times they have been animated sort of projects. I hesitate a little bit because I'm not really sure what the word is for something like Fall of the Ghost Train because it is animated, but not in the sense of it being a cartoon. And there are other projects I've done that are similarly a little difficult to define, but in which I voiced characters and wasn't on camera at all. So I'm always open for getting more voiceover work. I'm trying to do that, and I work hard to get involved in bigger and better screen acting projects as well, in which I'm on camera.
Obviously, the movie's about trains, but I'm not looking at certain key words. What does trucks and the mafia have to do with it?
Oh, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but the plot is it involves control over transportation in this particular area. There's kind of a rivalry between the trains and the trucks, and there is a mafia figure who's at the center of this. And there's also a supernatural aspect to it because there's a curse that my character is asked to place. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a clever plot and it's really wonderfully woven together between the live action and the animation.
No, it's always great to have a balance. I love Dragon Ball. I'm gonna take that to the grave with me. Dragon Ball, and by the way, do a little plug for it. For any Dragon Ball Z fans out there, Dragon Ball is coming back with a couple of new series. Are you excited for Dragon Ball at all?
Well, that's not really my jam, but I understand some people really love it. Heck, I haven't even seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet. I got to get around to that one.
I've seen bits and pieces. Me and my brother always argue about it. It's like, well, if you've seen bits and pieces, you haven't really seen it. But I'm like, oh,
Right.
I saw clips of the movie. I seen it. I seen it. No, there's a difference of seeing it and
Yes.
okay, you just saw pictures of it.
Oh, I
So,
agree. When I go to a movie, I watch the whole movie, even if I'm not really into it, even if I'm disappointed with the way it's turning out. I I still will stay until the bitter end because on one level, I'm hoping it redeems itself. If I don't like the way it started or how it's progressing, maybe the ending will be worth it. And if not, at least I can say I have seen that movie. I'm not judging it based on seeing a first scene or half of it or anything like that. I have seen the entire film, and I guess at that point I'm entitled to make my judgment and have my opinion on it, but only if I've seen the whole thing.
no, absolutely. Let me ask you, do you like professional wrestling like WWE, AEW?
Now, I'm afraid that's another thing's not really my jam. I got friends that are really into it. Um, it just has never been something that interested me very much.
Hey, at least the women got better looking, right? Thank God for that. It was kind of creepy back in the day.
Oh yeah, it's definitely evolved.
Well, let me ask you this, so then we can go to the next subject. I'm looking at the highlight of the film. It's about 60 years have passed, and I'm gonna butcher the name, so I'm gonna skip the name. But it said 60 years have passed since he gave his life protecting the Great American Railroad. So is
Mhm.
this following his life story, or what can you tell us about that?
Well, as I said earlier, this is actually a sequel to an earlier film he did. Uh, and so there was some continuity between the stories and the characters, but it's still very much its own story. And even if you haven't seen the first one, you'll have no trouble following Fall of the Ghost Train.
No, I agree. Now, well, let me ask you this. How hard was, because we're still in it, it's been 6 years since the crap hit the fan. With the
Hmm.
pandemic rules in effect, were you trying to find the words for it without hurting myself, if that's possible? Did you go in person in states and be around other people, or were you still doing the record your scene and then they would edit it in? How was the video process going?
Well, it was both at different times for me. I was fortunate enough that I was still able to appear in some projects that were shot in 2020 and 2021. There were some that were virtual. They were shot either over Zoom, or I shot my scene in my home studio and sent it in, and the director put it together. And then there were other times that there were some in-person shoots that I did even during that time, with the social distancing and everything. Precautions were taken.
No, absolutely. It's all about being vaccinated, being safe, and
Yes,
especially the polio is unfortunately coming back. The whooping cough is coming back. You can either be stupid or you can be smart, but the biggest thing
yes,
is get vaccinated. Now,
I agree,
that
100%.
I agree with you, and that doesn't guarantee you're not going to get sick.
No, no, there's no guarantees, but it surely reduces the chances that you're going to get sick. And if you do get sick, it's probably not going to be as serious as it would have been if you weren't vaccinated. And, the data proves this. Some people are worried about the, side effects of these vaccinations. And certainly in some cases, there are side effects. But if you look objectively at the scientific data and the studies that are done, overall, you are much better off being vaccinated than worrying about the risks you might be taking getting vaccinated.
No, I agree with you 100%. But actually, I have a list of questions so I want to ask you, but the one
Sure.
that actually just caught my eye because we're talking about movies and films, and you mentioned your short projects. But the one thing on the bottom of the card that I'm like was staring at, I'm like, this is a good thing to ask. Have you ever been on TV, and have you ever auditioned for any TV sitcoms or roles? Because that seems to be a
Yes.
big thing now.
Yeah, we already talked about that I've got movies streaming and series on YouTube and that sort of thing. Uh, there's a couple YouTube series I've done that came out really well that have come out in the last year or two. One is Sword of Valentius, that is a epic fantasy series, and I did a one scene in season one of that, and I had a couple episodes of a YouTube series called Transfolk, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's about the LGBTQ community. And I was proud to be part of that, even though I played a bad guy. But you don't have much drama if you're only showing good people doing good things. So I guess I helped along some of the drama in the storytelling there with my character. I have been on television in a couple different projects. I did one episode of The Price of Fame for the Reels channel, the one about Miranda Lambert. I'm in that, but I haven't been in any major network uh, TV shows yet. I have had some auditions. I don't want to name them, but I guarantee you would have heard of them. I just haven't booked any yet, but
Hey,
I've
knock
got
on
two
wood.
agents working for me, and I just started working with an LA talent manager, and she's also a very hard worker, and I think good things are going to start happening for me as I continue working with these folks and trying to get better at my craft.
And hey, if it happens, I take my hat off to you. I would love to be part of your journey, your story. I would love to hear it. You're always available, always welcome and available to be on the Keith Angie Network.
Thank
But
you.
let me ask you while we're
It's
on
great
this.
to be here. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Hey, thank you for putting up with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, there's no putting up with you, Keith. I like working with you.
No, I appreciate that. But let me ask you, with the TV industry, everyone's like, oh, with stream and everything. For
Hmm.
this subject we're going to talk about is I support DVDs because the best thing about DVDs is it doesn't matter if the power goes out, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're traveling, you're at a hotel, you have a solid DVD, plug it in, you can watch it 24/7. My thing about streaming, well, there's two things I want to talk about, but let's talk about the DVDs real fast.
Well,
DVDs,
I'm a big fan of DVDs and Blu-rays as well. Um, if I went upstairs right now with this camera, I could show you. I got two big shelves in my man cave that have about 1,000 movies on them. So movies that, really had an effect on me, that made me feel a certain way, that I want to feel again at some point, that I want to relive. I like to have the physical copies because you never know when a streamer is
right.
going to take a movie out of its rotation that you want to see. And if you've got the physical copy, like you said, there's more ability for you to see what you want when you want. So I stream stuff, but I also like having physical copies of the movies that really have meant the most to me.
Well, let me ask you about this, and especially Dogma. You can't find that movie anywhere. If you were lucky enough to have the physical DVD, it's great. If you don't have the DVD, you're pretty much shit out of luck.
Mm,
But the reason I bring it up is every time, and I use my Apple iPhone for this, anytime you buy an application, you're not, or a movie for that matter, I like Almost Famous. When you buy it on stream, here's the difference. When you buy the DVD,
mhm,
it's yours, you can keep it until the end of time. You buy it
mhm,
on streaming, the reason people in the industry seem to like is because they can edit it, they can take parts out, they can do
that's
other
right.
things. And as you said, they can take it down. Regardless if you paid for it, you
Hmm.
are buying the licensing fee of saying, I can watch this movie, it's in the cloud. But if they decide to take it down, you don't really own it. You're just pretty much renting it. So anytime for me, I love having the solid, physical disc. Just knowing that, hey, look at this movie. I'll give you an example. There's a TV series, Godzilla, a Monarch. Fantastic
Hmm.
series. So we bought the episodes in the series. Like, well, we own it. We own it. We can have it for 2, 3 years. No, you don't own it, you're renting it. And if they
Hmm.
decide to take it down, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what was the point of buying it if they're only
Yeah.
going to take it away from you? So it's kind of like, just go to DVDs pretty much
Yeah.
because they can't take it away.
Mhm.
Do you agree or
Well,
disagree?
I kind of treat streaming the way I treat going to the movies. I love going to the movies almost every Friday. I go to the movies, and on a typical Friday, I'll see three or four different movies. I've done as many as five in a day, and I love doing that. But of course, these days, uh, streaming is a big deal, and so I do stream some movies. But whether I'm streaming it or seeing it in the theater doesn't necessarily mean I want to own it. I mean, I got to see if I like it. I got to see what my reaction is. And the ones that I know I'm going to want to watch again, then I like to have the physical copies, like you said, just to know that you own it. Nobody's going to edit it down or take it away or anything like that. You have it as it was originally intended, and you can watch it whenever you want.
No, I agree. Now, let me ask you, and I'll pass it over to you. How do you feel about legalize? Because you seem like a guy who likes sports, so this is a great question.
Mhm.
Have you, was there any favorite, your favorite teams? So what are some of your favorite teams?
Well, I was born and raised in the Cleveland area, and I like to say you can take the boy out of Cleveland, but you can't take the Cleveland out of the boy. So I'm still very loyal to my Cleveland teams, my Browns, my Guardians, my Cavs, and I always cheer them on. But I live in the Houston area now, so I wish those teams well as well. However, when my Cleveland teams play a Houston team, I got to confess, I'm still cheering for the Cleveland teams. But if Cleveland's not in the playoffs or whatever it is, then I want the Houston teams if they're there to do well.
Did it bother you that they changed the Cleveland Indian logo?
Yeah, I can't say it bothered me. I mean,
It wasn't politically
there's
correct, but
yeah. I mean, I understand why they did it, but on the other hand, there's still a lot of, memories that we Clevelanders attach with Chief Wahoo. So I just look at it as, times change and I got to change with them, or I'm just going to be frustrated and upset all the time. And I don't have the emotional energy for all of that. So I still have some Cleveland Indians attire and pictures hung up in my man cave, but I also have Cleveland Guardians stuff now. And I just kind of roll with it. But not everybody feels that way. I have a lot of friends in the Cleveland area that refuse to call the Guardians the Guardians. They're still going to call them the Indians. And that's just how they feel about it. I'm not mad at them. Everybody's got to react to this thing as they see fit.
Now I'm gonna pass it over to you, but I want you to be brutally honest because this is the second time you're on the show.
Okay.
When I approached you for a second time to be a guest on my show, what made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
Well, I believe in what you're doing here. I think you have a great thing going, and I wanted to come on again and support it again. Um, Hopefully, some people see this that might get interested in some of the projects I've been in, and take a look at them on streaming or on YouTube or whatever. But beyond that, I wanted to keep supporting you.
No, I appreciate that. And you're more than welcome to be on the show anytime. And now, the
Thank you.
last question, I know I said last question, but I want the big elephant in the room. A lot of people have been saying this for over the years. I should turn this into a full-time job, and I finally took their words of wisdom. But
Hmm.
I want you not just to say it to me, for I want you to be brutally honest, no cards up your sleeve. When I said I charge for when I charge $32 to be a guest on my show, but what you get in return is a professional interview. You get a recommendation, you get an article, anything you need me to do. So pretty much you're hiring me by you being on the show is you're getting airtime, share
Hmm.
and say anything you want, but at the same time, you're supporting a talk show host with a disability. So it's not
Right.
me asking you for free money because I'm going to be working my
Hmm.
ass off. A lot of
Hmm.
people seem to call me a hypocrite, call me an asshole, and say you never charge people to do interviews. And I do agree with that. But if you're
Hmm.
trying to make a living, well, let me ask you, look at it like this. Would you want to work in a job that's 9 to 5, a 12-hour shift, something that you hate, something that you hate to do every single day? Or would you like to turn your passion and help other people at the same time? So,
Yeah, that one, the second one.
so I mean, this is not about me. I want you to talk to our viewers. When I said I charge 32, was that a red flag? Was that a turn off? I want you to be brutally honest.
Well, okay, I will be honest. It gave me pause. I had to think about it for a minute because you're right. Generally, uh, you don't have to pay to do interviews. But I also understand that this is good exposure. It could help my career. And I want to support what you're doing as you're pursuing your passion and trying to make a living at it. So I understand why you did it, and obviously I accepted that and came on your show again. And in a nutshell, that's how I feel about it.
No, I appreciate it. I got a lot of nasty feedback on it too. It's like, oh, how
Well,
dare you ask for money?
there's no call for being nasty about it. If somebody doesn't agree with it, then they can just say no, thank you, and go on their way. They don't got to be insulting about it. There's no call for that.
That's true. You can't fix stupid, but you can numb it with a 2x4. So I'm going to pass it over to you. Is there any new projects that you're working on, and where are you heading to next? And how can our fans get in touch with you?
Well, I appreciate that. I'll give you my website, which is davepro.info. And I have a Facebook personal page and professional page. The professional page is Dave McClain, actor, VO artist, writer. And that's where I put most of my most recent projects. If you go to that page, the banner or cover photo, as they call it, highlights some of the more recent and bigger projects that I've been in over the past couple of years. And then I'm constantly posting updates when I get new opportunities. The big thing I've got going on right now is a uh, a feature length comedy called Disrobed, and I am going out to LA to shoot that the last half of February. I'm very excited about that because I love this project. It's a lot of fun to do. I think people are really going to enjoy it when it comes out. And on a personal level, it happens to be my first time shooting a movie in LA.
Oh,
So
nice.
for all of those reasons, I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely keep me posted. I would love to have you back on the show. Would love to promote it. Anything you, and that's the biggest thing. By being on the show, it isn't just a transaction. I extend my hand to you in friendship. You make a new friend. Anything you need in return. You know me, we've been talking for a couple years, so you know I'm the real deal. I help
Mhm.
in any way that I can.
I
And it's
appreciate that.
just about making new friends. And as you said, and
Mhm.
especially in this business, that you need to make connections. The people that you know, it's the same people you meet going up as you're going to meet going back down. But wrapping
Mm.
up our interview, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. I'm looking forward to our part 3 interview down the road. But for our
Thank you.
viewers, this will be shared on Facebook, Instagram. Well, let me rephrase that. This will be shared on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It will also be shared for the first 3 minutes on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok's kind of iffy, with the whole new rules and all that BS. But the full
Mhm.
full length episodes will be definitely be shared on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. First 3 minutes will be on Instagram, TikTok, and let's forget about TikTok. No one really cares about that anyway. It's gonna disappear soon. But with that being said, thank you, and I really appreciate you. I'm not kissing your butt or anything, but I really
Well, you're being
appreciate.
polite, and I'll be polite in return. I thank you for the opportunity, and I do value your friendship, and I continue to wish you well, Keith.
No, likewise. I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up. Until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you, and have a good night.